Now let us discuss about project design. The project design is first stage in execution of the project. After the charter and getting the approval for the project, the first ever stage is designing a project. Project design includes the project scheduling techniques and drawing the schedules for implementation of the projects. So the question comes is, what is a project scheduling technique? So simply by definition what is given in your textbook, it will become difficult for you guys to understand what is scheduling technique, although it is coming in the next topics. But I want to show you exactly what is a project scheduling technique. I will share some of the diagrams with you and some of the tools which we can use for project scheduling. I have some of the example, and for project scheduling the first ever concept what we can use is okay, just a minute, let's just start it once. Yes, I will start from here. Okay, so as we have discussed, so once the initialization of the project is done and project charter is decided, the second phase is designing, where most of the planning is done, which will include a project scope statement. After that, some scheduling charts are prepared, some drawings are prepared, which we can call it as a breakdown structure or Gantt chart. So if I tell it in some words, it will be difficult for you guys to understand what is a work breakdown structure, although we have to discuss about that, but I want to show you what is that. Okay, now here I will show you one of the work breakdown structure of a process. See, suppose if you are starting a project, so decide a project scope, then you define the project scope. See, first you are planning for the project, what is the scope of the project, then you are defining the project, then you create a work breakdown structure. Right, now still you will have a doubt that what is a work breakdown structure. So this is showing the process work breakdown structure for a work, how it is conducted. So once this scope is defined, its breakdown structure is defined. How we define the breakdown structure? So here I have one example. See, in a word I have created a breakdown structure. So first the process here is process improvement project. The first phase is research. Like that, so many work breakdown structures are there. I will discuss it when I go for that topic. So I will divide this into two groups. One is phase 1 research and second one is phase 2 implementation. See, here when I talk about this one, I want to discuss briefly about one more concept here. I will come to that here, that is case studies. So in case studies you may need these things. I want to tell you about this. Yeah, here when you go for case studies, so this is your syllabus. You want to just glance the things in between the topics. Here you see case studies. So you have to prepare a case study. You go through the syllabus what I have shared. Here you have to prepare the case studies. In that case studies, what you have to do, here it is given. Here, say you have to split the class into number of 3 groups. So about that project, that is a parent, the person and his sons, kids, like that he has to split. So you just go through that, you will get a better idea. We have to prepare the 2D drawing with the plan, elevation and section adapters. For that you have a drawing lab. I think Kumar Naik sir is sharing a video with you. There you have to learn it properly and you have to make a drawing for that. How you are going to, actually it's about building house, residential house project. You have to design a project execution plan for that. So project execution is second chapter. On that basis you have to do it. Then we have to design or prepare a work breakdown structure, project execution plan and communication plan, estimates, the quantity, means how you have to those things we can do it with the Gantt chart. Like that we have to do this. Okay, that is what we call it as developing a scheduling technique. So these are the concepts what we are learning in the project design and future concepts. Now I will give you one example for this, one more example for this, because I have collected some example. Here I will continue. See, work breakdown structure. You need to divide your project into number of phases. Phase 1, phase 2, then you further split it into what you want to do. So this you can prepare with Word. So how to do that also I will tell you. You can try it if you have a laptop. You can go to insert, right? There you have smart art. Then you can pick this hierarchy. I have picked this. I have picked. You can pick any one of this. Okay. Okay, sorry. This I will just undo this because it has removed my. I will make one more here. Just go to insert, smart art. You can select your design. I have taken hierarchy. And I have picked my design here. Oh, this looks to be better. This only I will take. So design is prepared here. So what I have done is I have simply copied this here. I have written a text, and here left of this you will get, if you click on this you will get this, and you just paste it here. So this chart is prepared. So this is how you can do it. In case of any modification, you have to do it here. Yes, you don't want this, you have to remove this. So this is how you can prepare the process chart. So you can define it in this way, or there are some other examples also. You can define the work breakdown structure in the Excel format in this way also. Now we are going to divide your work. So there are different ways of doing this, but most of the time we are doing it with the charts. So simply, instead of going through the definition, it will be better to understand what is meant by drawing or developing the product scheduling technique. Similarly, there is a Gantt chart. So I have not prepared that, but you can use this format. Here you can just add a task, and you can just include in this here. Automatically it is included. So these are the things. I have downloaded few things. I will give you this when you come for offline classes. You can try out these things. So the subject is not just about theory. You have some practicals or case studies to be executed, and you have to do this execution part in the implementation, and it starts from design. Now let us discuss about what it includes, the major items of a project implementation, such as finding of location, construction of building. See, there are many things are there. Suppose assume that you want to make a construction, then you need to find a location, then construction of building, procuring plant and machinery, execution of the production program. These are all the things what has to be planned, and these are the major items of the project implementation. Now here when we talk about the project design, it can be the entrepreneur can be design it in the following way. Actually, the project design, it gives a comprehensive idea about the entire project. So along with the scheduling within which it has to be completed. So I will just check this here. Here you see this is a Gantt chart. Okay, so it is not yet prepared. So one of the example I will give you for a Gantt chart, or we'll create some Gantt chart when we go for that particular topic. Here you can add the tasks. You can set the timings here. You can see date and everything, May 2021. So now we are, can here each task you can define, and you can define what has to be done. Some milestones you can add, or some editing work, some diagram type of works. You can highlight these things like that. You can just do it here. So how to do that we will see in the future classes. Now I don't want to mix up the things, so you can do that. Then it has a diagramic representation of a work plan designed to execute a project after execute a project. So about that also I have shown you some of the examples, such as this work breakdown structure, this Gantt chart. Here also you can have a pictorial representation. We'll see it in the future how it is done, and the various constant activities of the projects are narrated in sequence. So those things we can do it with the both work breakdown structure at WBS or Gantt chart. So this is possible, And how to do that, here you see one example I will show you. Yeah, here I have prepared this. So this is actually displaying it in a pictorial format, how to or when or how the different phases are carried out. And in Gantt chart you can define the timing or a timeline on in which it has to be completed, what is the schedule time for each task, everything you can define it in Gantt chart. Gantt chart is not prepared here. This is just a template to design a Gantt chart. Okay, so what is Gantt chart I will show you in the future classes, so that I am not having with me now. Next, it enables to identify the know how of the event which must take place for a successful completion of the project. So this event details we can maintain it in Gantt chart. What event has to be occurred in what time, we can maintain it in Gantt chart with the timing details. I have just shown you the template of this. It's not a Gantt chart, but it's a template how we can design. You can define each task, and you can define the date when it starts, date when it finishes, duration means how many days it will take. Once it is completed, you can check this by pressing done or not done. And schedules, you can just mark it here in this one. There's some coloring or something like that. This is how the Gantt chart is maintained. Okay, now it helps the entrepreneur to coordinate with the project activities, so that if it is shared with the project entrepreneur, they can have idea how the project is going on. And it also serves as effective tools for planning implementation of the project. So this is an effective tool for planning and implementation of the project. Then it also helps the manager to plan the project economically. Yes, in case of any shortfalls, or in case of any earlier completions, or in case of any extension of the dates, how it has to be managed. It helps project manager or a stakeholder to deal with these things. Next is as we know and as we have discussed, it's the first step of the project design for the project management. So when we talk about the project management or a project design, the first step is to conceive the total physical system and its natural models, and the second step is the connection between these models has to be identified, how this project has to function. So it is very important to connect the physical systems or natural models in a way it is executed. And finally the control system that is using the information as a media has to be developed for self-control as well as forced control of a total project. So this is a controlling system what we have to learn. So about these things we will be discussing it in the future. Actually project management system is constituted by project work system and project control systems. About these concepts we will be discussing in the future, so I don't want to discuss more into that. So thank you.